This is John LeBaron with Chimney Check Professionals. This is the video portion of my inspection. This is where I take a look at the inner walls of the chimney system, otherwise known as the flue. There is another fireplace as well, and I initially agreed with the buyer's agent to inspect it at additional cost. And after looking a little further, what I'm really going to do is look at it only to the point to determine whether or not it is damaged. Once I've determined that, then I will stop, and I will not charge additional for that. Because that's really, in my opinion, at this point, what's important, all I can really do. No one's going to create a fireplace in that closet, I know that. And I guess somebody could create a fireplace on the other side of it, but they would have to do significant modifications to the current fireplace, so nothing I would see from that perspective would give us any insight whatsoever. Video camera is not going to give me any real insight either in this particular case. So with that, I will ensure and review my written report for information on the family room, what I'm calling the family room fireplace. I guess it's the closet fireplace. This is our living room one. Technically, if we look at this mantle, we could say this mantle is closer than it should be, and it is. To me, that's really a non-issue. But still, if we do all the calculations, we're probably an inch too far out, considering the closeness of this wood mantle to the firebox opening. Again, I don't consider that to be an issue. I wouldn't be modifying it if it was my house, so I'm going to have a hard time making a big deal of it on your house. But again, technically, it is incorrect. When we look around the fireplace opening, we can see gaps where finished materials meet, very minor. Chances are that will never be an issue, but we are not supposed to have gaps. So I would just talk about correcting those gaps, not a big issue at all. As we look up in the system, we can see a damper. The damper opens and closes. We have a log grate, we have a log liner. There's the valve. I have not checked the valve yet, or looked at it. I will be turning it on and off. The extent of my inspection for the gas line system is exactly what I just said, turn it on and off. If gas comes out, I say, voila, gas comes out. I am not here for leaks. I am not the gas company. What they do is far beyond what I do for gas. When we look at the, this is the very top of the smoke chamber. This is our smoke chamber, which is the transition to the flue system from the firebox. We can see gaps, very typical condition here. I generally talk about what we call a parch coating along these surfaces. This is sort of essentially revamping the heat barrier. This is our clay liner system. When I look at a clay liner system, what I'm looking for are gaps between tiles, which I'm not supposed to see, and then maybe damaged or cracked tiles. If I don't see those two conditions, then I usually have not much to say. Of course, if it's dirty, I'll talk about cleaning it. This particular system, we can see the gaps. We can see that debris is sort of filling those gaps in areas. This is what I would call for a tuck point job. Generally, when you do a tuck point job, parch coating the smoke chamber is usually part of it. When you do a parch coating, generally the tuck pointing is part of it as well. So this chimney did not move at all when I pushed on. In fact, most chimneys will. So the fact that this chimney doesn't move and the family room one does not move either, I would say we've got some pretty hardy fireplace systems. Indicative of the time period, I actually don't know what year this house is, but I bet it's in the 40s. What is it? 1940. Based on all the home inspections I've done and the chimney inspections, it seems as though the 40s time period is an amazing era of construction. Obviously, this is from my perspective and my opinion. I may find older homes that need repairs, but generally it's not because they were done poorly. It's because, well, you know, things do wear out, like a roof, electrical, heating, and air conditioning, but generally very well built. Obviously, that's not 100% rule, but these two chimneys being so solid, that's certainly indicative, although the family room chimney might have been added at a later time after initial construction. That, of course, is an unknown to me. So, so far I don't see any damaged tiles. And I'm probably babbling more than I normally would have, but that's mainly because I don't have a buyer here, so I figured if you're one in 1,000 that actually watches my video, you'll at least get my briefing that I would normally give you. And this is the very top, so there's our spark arrestor screen. As far as systems go, I would say this is one of the better ones. Certainly there's some maintenance to do. Repairs is probably more accurate, but regardless, you look at a system that hasn't been touched in 70 years, for it to be as well and as good a condition as it is, considering that and the fact that we've had several earthquakes that have damaged countless chimneys, I would say this system is doing very well. There's probably about a $2,000 to $2,500 mark to bring it up to fire safety standards. And when I say that, this is not an upgrade. This is a bring it back to its original fire safety standards. Ensure you review my written report for my findings and recommendations.